Nigeria's news updates today, May 5th, 2025. Why we arrested VeryDarkMan, says EFCC. Arcon, influencers, content creators must obtain approval for advertisements. Nearly 40% of Nigerians lack access to electricity, says World Bank. Step-by-step guide on checking 2025 UTME results. Tinubu Presidency rejects AfDB President Adesina's Nigerians better off in 1960s claim, says he sounded like Peter Obi. President Tinubu to meet GenCos leadership over 40 million naira debt, says Minister. Summary of the news. Why we arrested VeryDarkMan, says EFCC. The EFCC has confirmed the arrest of activist Martins Vincent Ose, also known as VeryDarkMan (VDM), following multiple petitions from individuals with complaints against him. EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyawale told BBC News Pidgin that the arrest was based on these allegations, not tied to any single entity like GT Bank. He added that VDM will be released once he meets bail conditions and the case will proceed to court. The arrest occurred in Abuja shortly after VDM visited a bank with his mother regarding her account. Subsequently, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has obtained a court order to detain him while it investigates alleged cybercrime offences. VDM was arrested last Friday in Abuja by a joint team from the EFCC, DSS and police. His arrest sparked online outrage, with the hashtag #FreeVDM trending widely. Critics accuse authorities of targeting dissenters. The EFCC plans to charge him under Nigerian Cybercrimes Act but has not yet made a formal statement. VDM remains in custody and his lawyer Deji Adeyanju is pursuing legal options. Arcon, influencers, content creators must obtain approval for advertisements. The Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria (Arcon) has announced that all influencers and content creators must obtain prior approval for advertisements. In a statement by Director General Olalekan Fadolapo, Arcon cited concerns over misleading ads, referencing the CBEC Ponzi scheme as an example of the harm unregulated advertising can cause. The council emphasized that all ads must be vetted for honesty and compliance with ethical standards, regardless of the platform. Social media is also under Arcon jurisdiction, and unapproved ads would lead to investigations and sanctions. A compliance task force has been established to monitor ads, and the public is encouraged to report suspicious content. A recent court ruling affirmed Arcon's authority over all social media platforms. Nearly 40% of Nigerians lack access to electricity, says World Bank. A World Bank report released in April 2025 reveals that 39.4% of Nigerians lack access to electricity, contradicting recent claims by Nigeria's Minister of Power, Adebayo. Adebayo stated that 150 million Nigerians have access to adequate electricity, a claim that sparked criticism particularly from the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC). Adelabu's spokesperson defended the claim, explaining that while power supply may be unreliable, many Nigerians are at least connected to the grid. However, the NLC rebuffed this, calling it an insult to Nigeria's intelligence, highlighting the country's low and unstable power generation of just 5,500 megawatts, far below the global benchmark of 1,000 megawatts per million people. The NLC questioned the existence of sufficient power plants and infrastructure to support such claims, emphasizing that millions, especially in rural and underserved urban areas, still live without electricity. Chronic infrastructure issues and corruption are blamed for the persistent power outages across the country. Step-by-step guide on checking 2025 UTME results. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAMB) has released the results for the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME). Out of 1,955,069 candidates, over 1.5 million scored below 200, while only 420,415 scored above 200. Less than 1% of candidates scored above 300. Additionally, 40,247 underage candidates participated, but just 467 (1.16%) met the threshold for exceptional performance. How to check your 2025 UTME results? Via website. 1. Visit the website below. 2. Log in with your email and password. 3. Check UTME results to view your scores. Via SMS. 1. Open your phone's messaging app. 2. Send results in capital letter followed by your JAMB registration number to 55019 or 66019. 3. Receive your results via SMS. 15 naira service charges applies. Tinubu presidency rejects AfDB President Adesina's Nigerians better off in 1960s claim, says he sounded like Peter Obi. The Bola Tinubu presidency has rejected claims by AfDB President Dr. Akinwumi Adesina that Nigerians are economically worse off than in 1960. Adesina stated that Nigerians' GDP per capita dropped from $1,847 in 1960 to $824 in 2024, implying worsening poverty. However, the presidency, through spokesperson Bayo Analuga, disputed these figures, asserting that the actual 1960 per capita income was only $93. It criticized Adesina for relying solely on GDP per capita, arguing that it overlooks factors like wealth distribution, informal economy, and social infrastructure improvements. The presidency emphasized Nigerians' progress in education, healthcare, transportation, and telecoms, claiming that life today is better than in 1960. President Tinubu to meet GenCos leadership over 4 trillion naira debt, says Minister. The Minister of Power Adesina announced a scheduled meeting between President Bola Tinubu and power generation companies GenCos to address a 4 trillion naira debt crisis. The government plans to make a significant upfront payment and settle the rest within 6 months using promissory notes. Adesina acknowledged the government's role in the sector's issues and promised reforms, including full liberalization and cost-reflective tariffs with targeted subsidies for vulnerable groups. GenCos warned of a potential collapse of the power system due to ongoing liquidity challenges, while also citing payment defaults, gas supply issues, and currency devaluation as major concerns. Follow for more. May 5th, 2025.